Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! We're going to have FMLFPL on.
This wall, she snuck up on me there.
What was that? Oh, yeah. I saw the face that you gave me. I was like, what just happened? Yeah, we got a Game Week 18 pod today. Tonight, it's Wednesday night. One day off. Sort of TBD if we're going to do a Game Week 19 episode or not. But if we do, it'll probably be a Patreon-only Friday My Life on New Year's Day because there's no days off. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's too much work to do like a proper pod. We need just our friend only pod.
Yeah, it would be a low quality audio too because I'm going to Palm Springs this weekend. I'm not going to bring my mic.
Yeah. All right, dude. So we're back. FPL's back,
baby.
You're back.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah, you're kind of back. I don't know what to say.
I'm truly back. I'm here.
Yeah, it's kind of scenic.
I'm a pod.
Dude, what the hell? What the hell happened?
Look at that. Look at these beauties.
Let me scroll down a little bit so you can see the bench. There's Walsh's team right there. 53 points.
The gang's all here.
We need to talk about your team, dude.
What do we need to talk? Dude, my team's fucking great. Points are coming.
What the hell is this?
They just didn't come this week. And
what is this, though?
This is my team of FPL players. I chose 15 players in the game, and I fit my budget, and I put them in the lineup, and this is my team.
But this is like a troll team. This is complete contrarian madness team.
I have Mo, Kevin, and Holland, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. And then every other pick in your team is just a massive differential that no one has.
Great picks. Ward, not a differential.
Yeah, he is. No one starts him.
Ward?
Yeah, he's a good backup. He's a backup on everyone's team.
Oh my goodness.
Not starter.
Necktie?
Nketiah, yeah. I mean, I like the pick. Most people are on like Martial or Mitro or something.
All right.
The other picks you have
I
Dom,
just went
Son, Barnes, Perot, Doc, Dean, Bueno, Patterson.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck? What happened, dude? What happened?
Just to get guys I like to hang out with me in the hood, dog. I just like the guys, so I got them. I was fucking 2 million rank. I don't give a fuck.
No, you weren't. You were 1 million rank. Now you're 2 million rank. You went down a million.
Same shit. It's the same shit.
It's not though. The question that I have is like, do you ever want to do well in FPL again?
Maybe not.
That's the real question.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the answer is no. Like, obviously, I could have picked a template team and have like 85 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have fun. It's not fun for me. I want to get the players that I enjoy and that I'm drawn towards. So that's what I did. And I got players that I like, like Barnes and shit like that. So I'm feeling happy with my team. I like the own goal. Get a certified donger in defense, as I knew he was. Team. Yeah. I knew he was a donger. That's why I picked him, and I didn't have to wait one week for a dong.
Yeah, if your answer is no to the doing well in FPL, then okay, then this is your team, and I'm fine with it. But I think greens are more fun. Greens and points are more fun than having, rogue picks. Not that my team is completely template, but
yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to chase that convergence of both, I guess. And I'll keep doing that until I feel like doing something different, I guess. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, you're lost. Maybe not.
I'm not lost. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not like denying anything. I mean, yeah, I picked fucking dumbass picks instead of way better, smarter sheep picks. Other than Switch was obviously a trap, and I knew that all along.
Who?
But Reese.
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, that's what's up.
Reese, who got the same points as 2 of your defenders and 3 more points than your other defender.
Well, I could have spent. I mean, I spent $3 million on one, or $3 million.
Yeah,
and four, you know.
I know.
Not enough the trip.
Man.
Like getting rid of him was a ridiculous decision. I just like fuck the trips, just do all the things. So I just went full. I just stepped into it, and I'm just. I
miss when you were an elite FPL manager doing good stuff, getting lots of points. I miss it.
Yeah,
I do miss it.
I don't know. I
don't like to see this.
I don't tie up my self-worth with my FPL overall anymore like I used to. So I've liberated myself from that.
Worth. It's just more fun to compete and try and do well, I think.
Yeah. Well,
you're just competing against no one. You're just contrarian for the sake of contrarian, basically. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm just picking guys I like and trying to have some fun with it. There's also game week 1 next year, Alon.
Don't even tempt me with that.
I'll compete again. With you when we're tied with
don't believe it, but maybe you'll prove me wrong. You know, I just miss it. You know,
I can surprise you. Yeah,
you used to be such a good manager.
Yeah, used to be a lot of things. I used to be 15 pounds lighter. I used to be all sorts. And here I am today.
Okay.
And all my flaws, Alon. Love me anyway, please.
Of course I do. And we're going to pod despite. And just had to get it out there. Because when you sent me that team, I was just like, what the fuck is this? And then they performed.
How'd you do?
I did okay. I went down a little bit. 78 points. You know, some of my picks... Basically, I feel like all my non-template picks blanked, which is not a recipe for success. And then all my relatively highly owned guys, Trips, Shaw, Rash, you know, obviously Holland, all returned. You know, and Ketia matched Mitro, but, you know, I don't have, neither of us, obviously, you don't have like Miggy or...
Didn't Mitro double return?
Mitro?
Yeah.
Mitro triple returned. Sorry, I said he matched Martial. I said next time at Martial, yeah. Martial actually way high.
3 assists, 2 assists.
2 assists and a dom.
I missed that. I missed the second one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because the second one was a weird like header down onto his hand.
Goddamn lying cunt.
I know. Marco Silva fucking died.
Milva.
Like, we both probably would have been on Mitro. He's such a great pick. And then it was like,
I would have been on Mitro, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you would have been on fucking, I don't even know. Sam Greenwood. But yeah, you know, it's not.
Yeah, your differentials,
my blanks. Yeah, they all blanked, but like they all still seem like good picks to me. Like Trossard blanked in 3 goal right in game. Actually, all of them blanked in a 3-goal game. Bruno, Kev, Darwin, and Tross all blanked in a 3-goal game where they could have gotten points. So I'm like,
yeah, Tross,
another week they get points. You know.
Tross looked like a very similar game to the one he had right before break when I was watching him really closely, and I was like, oh yeah, and he's just, you know, just not getting any points.
0 shots. Yeah. Hate to see that.
But there were times where he was like, oh, pass him the fucking ball, he's open, and they're like, nah, bro.
I know.
I'm selling March.
So frustrating start, but like, you know, the template is as strong as ever. The elite team's got 90 points on average.
Kepa was a big one that.
Kepa 9.
I mean, when you throw a 10 in there at goalkeeper, it makes the whole number go up by so
Yeah, I mean,
much.
honestly, like obviously Miggy, whatever, but he's only 50% owned in the elite teams. The 2 big ones were Kepa 9 and Martinelli 8. I mean, we've been on Martinelli both since game week 2. We both got rid. Everyone in the elite teams just held him because he's just still a good pick.
I thought he actually played pretty badly that game.
Me too. I mean, he took one shot and
he did the goal.
It should have been saved near post.
Yeah.
You know, like straight up. Like he didn't really get good FPL chances, but he turned it into 8.
He was giving the ball away cheaply a lot.
Yeah, and that's what we kind of thought would be like the Jesus maybe would affect him more than, you know, the rest of the attackers. But Odegaard, how about Odegaard? Yeah. But we'll get there. League updates. I'm not doing league updates. According to my page, it's still all fucked up. It's just completely wrong because the FPL site is fucked up. So I'm not going to do league updates right now.
They didn't have any time to get fixed. It's like the last game week was 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So they can't speed up the process of updating leagues. I don't know what to tell you. All right, where do you want to start? It does feel like game week 1 in the sense that I feel like we could talk about like almost every game.
Yeah. Is there anywhere that you're? I mean, I guess we were talking about Arsenal. I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah, let's start with Arsenal.
Curious to see how they would look without Jesus and with West Ham. Did we have any questions about them, or you want to just jump in?
Mishka said, "What are your thoughts on Odegaard?" Aurelio said, who are the 3 best Arsenal options with them looking great?" And I just want to remind people also that they have a scheduled double coming up, and then they maybe are going to have another double. So it's like, see, you're feeling really, really good if you're one of those elite teams right now who like kept Martinelli and have, maybe a defender or something like that. I think you're feeling really good about your team.
What about the non-elite teams that have that? Are they feeling good?
Yeah, they're feeling great because they copied the elite teams.
I feel like
you're
being very elitist. You keep referring to these elites.
They're just a good barometer,
what about the fucking
to measure
What
against.
about the proletariat? What about the
proletariats who kept Martinelli, got Saka? I think Nate had a monster week because he did those things. Oh, they're thrilled.
Good for him.
Yeah. Nate had a 91-pointer. He has Martinelli and necktie. Easy.
I can't believe you remembered the deadline.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's because I don't know. I saw him today or something. He's been around a little more. But yeah, Arsenal. I mean, I thought they looked fucking amazing. They just picked up like right where they left off.
Yeah, I think it was best game I've ever seen him play.
For me, for sure.
I was just fucking. I couldn't believe what he was up to. Moyes just. We gotta fucking get rid of him. They gotta fire him. They're going nowhere fast. He's just getting nothing out of the team. It's pathetic.
Like the best that can offer at this point, I feel like, is just safety. Like they're not going to get relegated if they keep playing this way.
16th or something.
But that's not good enough.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
Their team is good, and they play like
they play terrible.
God, they're
every performance
awful.
Is just so dire. I mean, they really played into Arsenal's hands. I was like fucking managerial suicide. I mean, they were just asking them to keep coming on to them, and they were just destroying them wave after wave. It was really something else. But
it really felt
they didn't
like
trouble them at all. It was so non-competitive.
Arteta just like spreading his fucking wings, being like, I know exactly what this guy's gonna do.
Yeah.
I fucking played under him for years. And like Arteta has definitely been influenced, I'm sure, positively by him too, but he's moved beyond it, right? He's just like, I can just dominate this. And the penalty. I mean, Saliba has a howler in every game, but
what are you gonna do?
Whatever.
That'll happen once in a while.
Happens.
I mean, they didn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, Partey played really well. Xhaka was like a little. Yeah, I mean, biggest takeaway for me in this game was, I mean, Necktie I thought was fucking amazing.
Dude, he was so
really good. He's really better
good
than I remember him. Yeah, like he's way better than I remember him last year. Like he was offering so much, and his movement and his takes, and he was really impressive. And they were just still playing. So all those mids are still good picks. I mean, Odegaard's so good with the bonus points too. I mean, he's the only one. Like Martinelli just gives the ball away for fun and misses every. He just so bad at bonus points. Saka's kind of whatever. I mean, Odegaard, he shits bonus points. He completes all the passes and does all the things.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of taking like a leap into superstardom before our eyes. Like his numbers have gotten better every year. He's still really young. Like everyone remembers him going to Real Madrid when he was like fucking 16 or whatever it was. But like another leap this year of just he's shooting an extra time per 90, and his XG per 90 is doubled from last season. Where and last season was already like a step forward for him. And he's doing all of this while maintaining like his normal passing, his normal like elite creativity. He like wins the ball a decent amount, pressing. He's just like really, really good. Yeah,
he's sort of, he reminded me a lot of like Eriksen when Eriksen was peak, except he gets in the box more, like, which is so for FPL so much better, right? Where I mean, maybe it's like, but his creativity too is, and that was something I don't think it was a coincidental thing without Jesus in, but the middle of the part, like he was operating in that area with no, like Jesus drops in there a lot, right? And he was just progressing the ball with like great vision, and he was creating so much. I mean, he just looks, he could have scored a goal easily too. He had a couple good chances.
Yeah, he had a couple
well.
chances. Yeah,
I agree. I think he is taking a leap into superstardom, and he's definitely going to be a huge price rise next year. I feel like it's, just get in while the getting's good kind of thing with him. Clearly
he's basically
captain's
matched
armband.
his points total or his, return
Already.
total from last year. Last year was 7 goals,
Yeah.
4 assists. He's on 6 goals, 4 assists this year. Last year, he finished the season on 9 bones. He's already on 14 bones. So he's well on pace to absolutely obliterate last season's numbers.
Yeah. No, he looked great. I mean, he just looks great. I think he's a really, just a really good pick. Good option. Martinelli, I think, was a little bit worrying to me watching him play.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it seemed like he was just pressing. Like, that was all he was trying to do is press, get the ball, move it. But he wasn't it was so much more Necktie, Saka, and Odegaard kind of coming in and joining when he could. But Martinelli was sort of running with a lot. And, he cuts in a lot when he gets the ball at his feet. But yeah. I don't know. He just wasn't taking up central positions, which for him, when he's not doing that, it's going to be hard for him to keep getting returns, I think.
Saka and Martinelli only had 1 shot each. Obviously, both of their shots were goals, but that's not that promising. Saka still had really good creativity. Martinelli just very quiet in the numbers. I don't know. It just felt to me like the game plan was press all the defenders back, so they had to sit really deep. And then just leave Xhaka and Odegaard in space. And they just absolutely fucking shredded them in space.
Yeah, they couldn't get out. Antonio was the only ball and it was easy.
He did a good job, I thought. He did all a man could do in that situation. Yeah, but Arsenal good. So best 3 picks, I don't know. All of their team are fucking good picks. Their defense is still elite.
Yeah.
They're
Ramsdale's only 4'9".
Yeah, White's still 4'7".
Saka's good. Yeah, up and down's good. I think it's maybe more of what player do you need to replace?
Right. Yeah, the question I guess is what other options are available in the price point, right? So Nketiah played great, looked great pick. Mitro's probably just a better pick.
Yeah,
he has Southampton. He has Southampton and a double. It's that's
there's a
tough.
lot of competition for that spot.
Yeah, so that's where it becomes tough, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of Mitro, we did get Mitro and Miggy questions. I think people are really itchy trigger fingers in that regard. The Mitro questions, Gilfy said, it's time to hit in Mitro, right? Marco Silva, you bastard, man. Bill said, I'm feeling bamboozled going with Tross in a 3-5-2 versus Mitro in a 3-4-3. Is a -4 worth it to fix it ASAP, or is it better to save and do the transfer after next game week for the double? And Richard said, who should I panic by first ahead of some bedwetting, double fretting, Mitro or Kai?
That depends where you're at mentally. If you're more me or you, I think. If you're competing, obviously Mitro is the obvious pick, but I don't know. Dude, I've been here with Mitro so many times before. I feel like whenever the FPL people are all it's time to get Mitro, and is exactly the time he just shits it all away. I don't know. I'm just not
so
interested.
Automatic all season.
Yeah,
he has how many blanks does he have? Game week 2?
He has plenty. He blanked when I bought him, and then he got hurt. So
but a couple hurt is different than a blank.
Yeah,
but he has very few starting the games and blanking. Very few. I think it's 3. It's just insane. The amount that he shoots and the amount that the team is built around and the amount that they attack. He's an amazing pick. What about hitting people in though? Because I definitely feel that. I look at Mitro, home Southampton into a double. I'm wow, it's really dumb that I don't have him. But I'm having a hard time being I'm going to fucking hit out my other good pick for Mitro. I don't really love that.
Yeah, I don't think just because we forgot how to play FPL for a month and a half because it wasn't here means that we need to throw away these tried and tested heuristics that we use, right? Don't get rid of, let alone hit out your good pick for another good pick. It's just, that's stupid. That's not how you play if you want to do well. That's just an emotional decision. Your picks are still, you're not hitting out a bad pick or an injured player,
Right.
So,
right.
If you have Wilson, then okay, we could talk. But otherwise, right? Yeah, you just sit tight. Maybe you double switch them or whatever. But
I do feel at this point in the season where every team has doubles on the way, even though they're not announced. Every team has had canceled fixtures. Like, I'd so much rather use my transfers to aggressively attack a double or something like that than to just be like, and we'll get to Reese, like Reese to a defender, or like, whatever it is, where I can just like start my fourth defender who's probably going to blank anyway. It doesn't really matter that much, and save a transfer for like, Chelsea has a double now. Now I will use a transfer to get, whatever. Fulham has their double now. Now I'll get them, or whatever it is. But, teach their own.
But that's also not this week. That's next week. So
it's next week. Right. So I'm not, I'm like, I keep wanting to do stuff and then looking at my team and being like, probably should just chill.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, we're not at the point where hits are -2s. That's next week.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's relax.
Yeah, and it's a pile up and it's madness. It's like, just chill.
Mitro's going to be in Perot's pocket next time anyway. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Perot, Ross Perot. And then Miggy questions. And Voldy said, are either Mitro or Miggy immediate mistake correction buys? Fabrizio said, is it crazy or cool to break up Foden for Miggy? J. Diaz is Miggy.
Foden.
Is Miggy worth a hit? And then Ben said, would you sell Tross for a second Arsenal midfielder, or Miggy, or roll? So a lot of Miggy panic too. I mean, his goal was fucking gorgeous. I love that goal. But
yeah,
I don't know if this was like, is this just like, oh, we just fucked up? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely should have him, like. The downside
is
a player, you transfer him out. The upside is he's the best pick in the game. So you should have that player.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's similar. We're talking about it before the break with him, right? Where it's just, what is the cost of putting him in your team?
It's so low.
It's just really low, and the benefit of, maybe he is going to keep doing things at a 1 and 2 rate, and he's the best pick in the game, like you said. And he's picking up where he left off. I mean, that was another non-competitive game. I don't know what was going on in that one.
Leicester didn't show
Leicester
up.
just don't have, they don't have Mato. I guess they just can't do anything. But Almiron's certainly a good pick. He's still 5'9", which is ridiculously cheap.
His match log is actually hysterical. 8, 6, 8, 12, 10, 10, 3, 7, 15.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. Good pick. Mitro, I mean, I think with the Almiron thing, it's more of just denying and trying to be too smart by not going with him. I agree. It's just another template pick, right? That's where that goes. That's as far as it goes. Mitro, we were told that he was not going to play, basically. So
that is way more excusable.
That's not a mistake. Yeah, that wasn't a mistake.
I was actually thinking about this. I was going to ask you about this because I feel like you have a better memory with this kind of stuff. Has a press conference ever helped us? Has a presser ever been like, oh, this thing, and that really like makes us make a great pick where we would have made a bad pick? Like, no, I feel like it's rare.
That is selective memory, because there are times when we're like, we don't know if someone's fit or unfit, and we get definitive information and we just disregard them and we don't have to think about it twice.
Yeah.
When they
this time we were just lied to.
Yeah. That's just part of the game we play. We have to listen to that. We can't disregard the pressers. That's stupid. I mean, I'm just
asking because it's just like fucking. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you remember the burns way more than like when it was actually useful, right? It's just like, what the fuck, dude? But
no, I mean, it is totally.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about like Tross to Miggy. I don't know. Made him. It reminds me of our game week 1 teams where I think I was on Bailey and you were on Neto, or some shit like that, and we both just went boom straight to fucking Martinelli. Game week 2. We did it on like Monday. We just made the move, held him for the rest of the thing. He's great. We made a mistake. Great pick.
Yep.
Get him. So if someone wants to do Tross to Miggy, or any of the non like Rashford picks to Miggy, it looks great. Like I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In fact, I should probably just do it, but haven't even thought about my team yet. All right, let's get the Reese talk out of the way. So Reese, great pick. Dude, that was so good. I mean, you just can't make it up with this guy.
You don't have to make it up. We literally talk about it all the time.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So I think the listeners deserve to hear how did you fall into this trap yet again while pod partner didn't even consider him for 1 second on his wildcard team?
Oh, well, it's easy for me because I've owned him when he's fit and he gets me a ton of points. Like the first 4 game weeks of the season when he got 7, 7, 1, and 7.
Like game week 17 when he was fit, home Bournemouth.
Happens. He didn't get me points this time, but he got me points last time. So,
Did you see what he fucking said before, after deadline, before thing, where he was like, he has to build up match fitness and the Premier League isn't the best, most ideal place to do it and shit. Like, he was already laying traps.
Guess I should have read
he was
the
gonna play
fucking
60
presser.
minutes. Like, dude, if he didn't get hurt, he would have gotten a fucking 58 subs, some shit, dude.
Well, that was funny after the game, is that Potter said we wanted him to go 60. And it was just like, oh my God, he had FPL clean sheet in mind and he still couldn't make it, man.
Yeah.
There
are certain players that have a stink.
It's crazy.
That doesn't. It's not logical or an objective way of looking at things, but when you look at where his season has gone since he got injured the first time, he's gotten injured 5 times this year. 5 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
He comes back, he barely plays a game, and he's hurt again every fucking week. He's got something. You gotta write it off. You gotta write it off. This isn't someone like Mo at 4 million defender, where it's like if he's just can breathe and he's gonna play, he's not that amazing. Show me 3 games in a row of playing 90. It's certain. I think we need to
start of the season, right? I mean, you asked me how I fell into the trap, right? He plays 90 in 6 out of the first 7 and gets a fucking ton of points.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you see this recent rash of these injuries, it's like there's something going on where it's like building fitness.
It's the same knee too.
Yeah, it's the same fucking spot. It's like it's a fucking bad situation.
Something's fucked. Yeah, he needs injections or
surgery, whatever he needs. Whatever he needs, he shouldn't be on your FPL team while you're finding out. There's not a harm in waiting to, prove the fitness when you see these types of injuries recurring. It's just insane. Yeah. Plus lore. Of the bastard.
Plus lore.
Unbelievable. Plus lore. Dude, he's such a fucking annoying fuck. He's the worst.
So let's do some replacements because that's a bunch of people asked about it. Josh said, who's your first choice bastard man replacement? Jeff, who to replace him with? Cucurella for the doubles. Are we afraid of Chelsea rotation? Bolter said, should we prioritize getting on the Man U defense with Shaw or Dalot, or replace the Chelsea defense to get on the double? And 123D said, Reese to Botman or Shaw. So do you like any of those?
Man United defense, didn't instill me with a ton of confidence. They were missing some guys, and they still do have a couple good fixtures. Yeah, they were missing guys, but they felt. Their attack was irresistible. They were just there was a lot of space on that pitch, and it could have been in nature because of the personnel. But I don't know if I'm jumping to their defense right now. If I could literally pick anyone in the game, I still think Akanji is really good.
Yeah, City is worth mentioning. I think a lot of people are only on 2 City guys. And if you can get your third to be like an Akanji, they still have 2 fucking doubles coming and they're still the best defense in the league. Obviously they can see the one today. But Akanji's good. I still like Shaw a lot. He's really, really good on bones. When he plays left back, he gets really far forward. When he plays center back, he still just completes 100 passes and gets 2 bones. I think they're good picks, and they still have Wolves and Bournemouth. They're again the fixtures are just fucking insane.
They just don't seem like a very defensive, clean sheety type of a team to me.
Yeah.
Just why? I mean, they could have conceded a couple. Like they were close.
Well, if you break the press, right? Like then you're
that's what I'm saying.
in.
I mean, they don't play defensively. It's like Liverpool, sort of similar, like how I see that. And I mean, they're cheap, obviously, but Shaw's is still only 4.8 or whatever, right? But I think City, right? I mean, Akanji's, he played again as center back. Like they have these games and shit. He still just keeps playing him. I mean, he seems like he's just a really good pick. And I do think Newcastle's just better. They're the best defense in the league right now.
They've been, and their fixtures are still amazing, right? They have Arsenal in 19, so that's brutal. But other than that, it's home Leeds, home Fulham, at Palace, home West Ham, at Bournemouth. And Leeds and Fulham are
that.
Tough for cleans. Those are like kind of bad clean games. But their defense has been incredible. So
you got to like that over Man United defense, I think, too, right?
I just think that like Botman's ceiling is really low. Like he's a 6-pointer.
I feel like he'll get a few goals this year.
Yeah, he could. Shaw, I just feel like has the bones and the assist potential, which just attracts me always. I'm just a sucker for that. I mean, I don't hate a Chelsea guy also. I mean, I thought that, it's tough to judge a team versus Bournemouth. Probably Cucurella. I mean, he's left back or left wing back or left center back. I mean, it seems like
they have no one else.
Yeah, I mean, Chilwell's coming back. Like, it's like expecting Reece to come back, Like, I'll believe it when I see it, And Cucurella, I thought, played really well. And, like, all the jokes about, like, Potter's guy, like, the shit that Cutler was saying, I didn't even know about, that he, like, lost 15 pounds while he was, like, ill and, like, was all fucked up. Like, he should be good to go, He'll just play all the games and be really good like he's supposed to be. 5-1, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Double coming up.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Fine shout. Fine with that shout.
Yeah. I mean, the next 3 game weeks, they have at NFO, then a double, and then home Palace. Like, those are just 3 fantastic game weeks.
Their defense is just kind of messed up fucking situation, though.
Yeah, Zakaria actually played pretty well, too. Maybe that'll help. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the Man U game. Side said, what's your read on United versus NFO game? Graham Burglar said, is Bruno to Rashford a knee-jerk reaction, or did I just pick the wrong guy? And Harley Boy said, Tony Gloves looked really sharp today. United attack looked great. If we're considering bringing him in, does it knock him down the rankings at his price point, versus Mitro and Nketiah, since he's more like a 60 to 70 minute per game guy? I think that one's like an easy yes for me. I mean, where are you at on the Martial standings?
Yeah, I definitely agree that the minutes is an issue. I mean, not playing the last 20, 15 of every game is an issue.
Yeah.
Although I guess if they're chasing a game, he might leave him on there.
He's just protecting him, I feel like, because again, made of glass,
he has to.
only guy.
Because he has to. And then, there's no fault in that. But from an FPL standpoint, you don't want to be looking at the board every time that it goes up on 60 or 70 thinking that the striker's going to come off,
Yeah. His goal was also
incredible.
Like the easiest save ever.
Yeah.
Hennessy thanks.
It was really poorly taken. But he still looked good. I mean, United attack looked so good.
Yeah, looks great.
They were all just piling forward, good movement, moving the ball really fast, and they looked really, really good. Good spacing.
I can't believe Bruno blanked. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Bruno looked incredible, and he was taking
he was great.
He was making striker runs. He was creating chances, many chances. I thought he looked really good. I mean, Rashford, assist on a side pass that shouldn't have happened, scores on a set piece training ground routine. He looked fine, but it's not as though an open play. Good. He was fine. I mean, it was a better game from him than, he had some nice takes on some longer balls, but in terms of just, the attack is built around Rashford. I felt like Bruno was a way better, eye test, open play, pick to me. So I don't
agree with that.
Necessarily 3 million though.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Like if you were ranking the two in FPL, it's not close.
It's
I don't
not
think
close.
that it's Rashford for sure. But I agree with you in terms of just judging how the team worked and how they built attacks and whatnot. I mean, Bruno had the most touches in the box. You know, it wasn't Martial, it wasn't Rashford.
Really?
It was fucking Bruno. Yeah, most on the team. You know, he only had one shot, but he created a couple big chances. You know, he's great. I wish so badly, you know, because for selfish reasons, because Bruno's in my team, that he was still on set pieces. I mean, you know, Eriksen gets the assist on the Rashford
He kind of
goal.
sucked at them, though.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me the volume.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know?
I know. But I'm just trying to remember. Like, I remember watching him just take really camp, not beating the first man and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want every avenue you can take.
For sure. But yeah, Rashford, great pick. Bruno, I hope he's a great pick. You know, I chose Bruno over much safer, more sensible picks like Saka and shit, and even Martinelli. Probably other guys I'm forgetting. And it was a massive risk. I mean, he's expensive, and he might just be like 2-3 game weeks from now, I might just rip him out in a double move, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think you have to give him the next 2, because if he plays the same way as he did,
I agree.
12-pointer, 15-pointer. I mean, it's coming.
And give me a fucking pen, you know?
One time.
Holy shit.
Pen,
We'd have to blow for a fucking pen over here.
The ref.
The ref. Yeah, I guess that's right. There's not that many, like, the pens have been weird this year. I think Man United only has 1 or something.
I don't know.
And do Liverpool still have 0?
I feel like there have been so many pens in the league, and none of my players get pens.
Yeah, Man United have 1.
Have you had that experience?
Look at the... Yeah, I don't think I have a pen goal. Like, I don't have Kane, so who would have gotten a pen? Liverpool still have 0 pens on the season. Bournemouth, Everton, and Liverpool, 0 pens on the season. Teams with 1 pen.
I've had
Arsenal
game mode my team all year.
Yeah, same.
That's why.
And the teams with 1 pen are Arsenal, Man United, and Southampton. I haven't had Saka. Ronaldo probably took the 1 pen, and obviously I don't have James Ward-Prowse, who didn't make the 1 pen, which was this week.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's just weird. It just doesn't really make sense. Let's jump to Liverpool. We got some Liverpool questions. Kind of like Gakpo and Darwin. I mean, Garber said, should Gakpo make me worried about holding Nunez? Should Nunez make me nervous about holding Nunez? Mitro seems better, and he's 2.5 million cheaper. Wardy said, is owning 1 Liverpool attacker a must? Do I wait on Gakpo? Or no, wait on Gakpo, obviously, but could be viable until March given injuries. Any comments on him? And Sun said, time to talk about Gakpo, what that might do in the near future. So, I don't know. Everyone's very Gakpo curious.
Yeah, I mean, you're our Liverpool correspondent on the ground. What do you have for us?
I mean, obviously, everything in FPL depends on like price and position, right? Like they could do anything. They can make him a fucking forward, and then he's not even remotely an option. They can make him a cheap mid, and then he's a fucking incredible option. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. But yeah, I mean, Diaz is still long-term hurt. Jota's still hurt. He's going to just immediately come in and start every game at left wing. And that it's either going to be start every game at left wing or start every game at like 10 with Darwin and Mo up top. Like those are the pretty much unanimous, the 2 things that everyone says Gakpo can do. And everyone says like one of his best, if not best attribute is like crosses and like set piece deliveries and stuff like that. So that sounds like it'll just be good. You know, I think that's just good for everyone. You know, like starting Ox, I love the Ox, but there's no world where like Ox is better for Darwin and Mo than Gakpo is. That world doesn't exist. So yeah, it should just make the attack all better. Whether he's a pick or not, I think entirely depends on prices. And also, he gets so many of his shot assists and you know, underlying XA and that kind of stuff from set pieces. And I have a hard time believing that he's just going to like show up and just immediately take all Liverpool set pieces. You know, so if he's not doing that, that might make him a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, I've fucking seen him play 3 times. So I don't know shit
No, I've seen him maybe 5 times. So like
I have no idea what he is or who he is or what the fuck he's up to. But we'll find out
Anfield
soon.
Rap had a bunch of episodes where they like interviewed people. I listened. It was basically all worthless.
50.
It was
How
worthless.
many episodes did they need about this fucking shit?
I mean, I get it, but like no one had anything to say that made me feel like I learned anything about him. The most informative was a double pivot where they like went deep on his numbers, and I was like, oh, this is actually interesting. And just talking about like the sort of Moneyball strategy that Liverpool had, and maybe their transition away from that, what they fired everyone in the backroom staff and all that was interesting. But yeah, in terms of what he's going to produce, I mean, long story short, it's like he has an astronomically high ceiling and he has a low floor. So the variance is really, really high, and he could be anything. And he's kind of old to be, a prospect still, but he is a prospect. So we'll see how it goes. That's basically that.
We'll see how it goes. Like you said, though, he is an upgrade on what the squad has to offer at left wing.
100% upgrade.
So he's going to improve the attack, and Darwin will have more chances to miss. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, and the attack is already very, very good. And
very good.
Performed really well again. Trent was a fucking god. And yeah, it's going to get better. So yeah, I think Mo, Darwin, potentially Gakpo are all going to be picks. Through the rest of the season, probably.
Sure.
Any other games you want to touch on, or should we just jump to some other questions? There's so much, dude. I mean, there's the game today too, City.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't competitive. That's
not that much to say, I guess, about it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much worth talking about there. I think that the Chelsea performance was was worth noting, just because it was really confident, assured. Like, they should be rolling Bournemouth at the bridge over, and nobody really was convinced that would happen, I think, going into the game yesterday. And they did. I mean, it was just a joke of a game.
Yep.
And
it was over in like Potter, 10 minutes.
It was so obvious very, very early on that this was not a match that was being played by both teams. And I think there was a good degree of naivete and bad setup by Bournemouth to say that. But, Chelsea, he played some player. RLC wasn't playing. No coincidence there. He would have picked him if he was healthy. Let's make no mistake about that. But he wasn't available to be picked, so that's an upgrade. He just put players in positions for them really to succeed, more or less. And Zakaria was sort of a revelation, right? He gave them that extra man. And
they needed a midfielder all season, and it turns out they had one.
And the difference, right? I was trying to figure out how to articulate kind of the difference between him and Gallagher is you barely notice Zakaria was playing. And with Gallagher, you very much notice he's playing all the time. And they don't need that player to be that. They just need someone to move, keep the assembly line going. And, I think he did a really good job of that. When Gallagher plays, it feels like they're down a man. And, he's always
chasing the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to do too much, and that's not what they need. And the team, whatever. I didn't really. Anyways, I mean, playing Zakaria looked good. Jorginho, it was a really easy game to look good in, granted. Yeah. But, Raz playing out wide, they had good width. Kai had really good movement. He looked really good. Pulisic, he kept. I thought he got injured 8 times in that game, but he somehow played.
He has a problem. He has a problem where.
Speaking of Reece James,
yeah, I mean we were talking about him at the bar today because we were just talking about all the games and shit, and we were watching Jack. I think that's part of the reason why Pulisic came up. Jack and Pulisic have that same skill of they can win a foul in any situation off of any player. But Jack is thick and can handle the abuse. He got fucking leveled today multiple times and gets up and carries on. But Pulisic, when he gets leveled, it's maybe this shouldn't be what you do because you can't take the punishment. I genuinely feel he just can't take that level of punishment. And so it's a bad match for, his size doesn't match his skill set. But I don't know. It's a weird one. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
He needs to go to a different league. I mean, he can't play in the Premier League, honestly.
Or just get fucking thicken up, put muscle on, obviously don't put enough muscle on that you lose your dribbling or your quickness, but put some on, or do different stuff because, I mean, like, you can't just keep playing like that and expect to be fine. I mean, it reminds me of like 2 years ago, Saka, where it's just like, this kid is just too little and he gets fouled 7 times a game. And he eventually was injured for like that entire second half of the season and subbed off 60 every fucking game. And then you watch him like 2 days ago and he's like bodying Declan Rice off the ball. I'm like, yeah, now you're fucking ready to go. You're a fucking man now,
Yeah.
I
mean, there is a difference there because he was a teenager and he's actually grown into his body and is able. But Pulisic's not.
Yeah, he's like mid-20s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is his body. Like
unless
body. If he just starts eating
juicing.
pasta, for 8 hours a day and juicing, and whatever. But he's just, this is who he is, and it's not, he's not built for the Premier League. He's built for the fucking Italian league or whatever.
Yeah.
Ajax, like go to Ajax, play fucking false nine or some shit.
Oh my God, he would get so many points in fantasy Eredivisie. Oh my God, he'd be fucking unstoppable. But yeah, Chelsea were great, man. I definitely like Kai is definitely on my mind, for the double. At NFL this week is tempting, but I don't have like a good straight swap that I think is positive. But they have the double home Palace, definitely someone to look at. Mount, he didn't really look that good. We were talking in Discord for fantasy points. He wasn't that involved in the attack. He was much more midfieldery than attacker, but he's so good, man. He's just so good that like, a couple of shots from distance, a couple moves here and there, and it's like, oh yeah, 10-pointer. That's just like stumbles into it kind of. But I don't know. I like Kai a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, Mount was joining in a little bit. When the game was 2-0, he very much was not up until he scored his goal. I mean, he scores some shit from outside the box, bends it. Yeah, he's great. He'll do that, a couple of times a season. There's not, a player there that's an FPL pick, though, from what we saw.
Corners, like he could be good in the double. And he's nailed, which you can't really say about everyone. And, he's fine for the double, but I'm not like, I'm not getting him expecting like a long-term hold that I'm going to be happy with. But Kai, if he just plays striker with Mount behind him and wingers to the left of him and wingers to the right of him, like he could finally do the things, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we both really like him.
Yeah.
Still am just concerned about Potter. I mean, Obbs is still right there. And Kai is an adaptable piece, who can do different things. And they all of a sudden have an extraordinarily shallow squad. So, he's got to make up numbers here. He can't play this 11 every game, as they get more and more games, right?
And also January's 3 days away.
I mean, he's going to have to play Obbs. He just has to. I mean, look at the dude. Look at their fucking team. Like, he's going to play Chukwuemekwa, heavy minutes and shit. Like, no. So I'm just a little concerned from that standpoint. But certainly Kai looked good,
Yeah. I do wonder, like, we already touched on Gakpo, like Wolves sign Cunha. Like, there's going to be moves. There's going to be a lot of things that are interesting. Man United buy a striker, like whatever happens. So that it's a fucking very crazy time in FPL. But let's do these other questions. Glenn Denning said, how should we be treating Palace as an opposing fixture? Is it still tough away or do they just suck? So Glenn just fucking no holds barred from Glenn Denning right there.
I mean, we finished with 9 men. It's an easy low-hanging fruit to rip off the tree and throw it in the river or whatever.
There's no less significant like data point than that game. Like, it was a fairly even game, and then Palace had 9 men, and then the second half happened.
I mean, with all sorts. Let's not mince words here. We have Tompkins playing. It's just the defense is an issue.
What's up with Gahey?
He's been hurt forever.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, Mitchell
had a
being
5
banned,
yellow card suspension. Now Tompkins is out. Now Tompkins is banned. Now Mitchell's banned. So it's going to be like Klein left back, Ward right back.
I mean, this fucking guy we bought for not insignificant money, Chris Richards, like, can you be...
He's supposed to be good.
Well, he hasn't shown it yet. I mean,
it's
now's
his
your
time
time,
now.
son.
It's his time now.
Yeah, like, go fucking play. But I'm saying more like, how bad do you have to be in training for Tompkins to get picked over you? Like, that's an issue. He's not better than James Tompkins. James Tompkins is fucking 15 years old.
Sign. Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying on this one. You know, so I'm worried about that. I mean, did we buy a lemon? Like, I don't know. We have no. I mean, who's going to play? I guess Schlupp. He doesn't have to play defense. He's like, I think the only guy. Maybe Riedewald. He played some left back in the day with under Frank, or I think he did. Our defense is just a mess, man. I don't know what we're doing. We're a fucking mess.
Palace are not that safe. They're really not.
We're not. No, we're not.
It's just like,
I mean, I think we will be safe. I think there are 3 worst teams.
I think so.
But...
I definitely think so. But, you know, you look at the schedule, it is bad. Next 10 game weeks.
We finished up with a good run.
They have Spurs, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man United, Brighton, Liverpool, City, Arsenal in the next 10 game weeks. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that's not, I'm looking at our schedule now and just kind of looking. The last 3 games we have of the season are Bournemouth, Fulham, and Envo. You do not want to play them the last 3 games of the season. Like, I want them sprinkled in, but like those games could be life or death for any or all of those teams. You know, that
could be life or death,
be an issue for us.
Or they're already relegated and they're just playing like loose and like having fun and just trying
or they're
stuff.
Safe, one or the other. I don't know, but it's just we'll see. We still have good enough players where I feel like we'll be safe.
I agree. I mean, January might actually be huge for Palace, right? Like they clearly,
I don't know what our money situation is, but
I don't know either. But it does seem defenders. Like need a little bit of depth. Can't rely on Nathan Ferguson anymore.
Well,
there's someone called Kofi Balmer on the FPL page, so maybe he's the answer. But
I mean, I think Mitchell is also like a really big issue. I think he's been one of our worst players this year. Yeah, I do.
Really? I thought he was so good.
Yeah, it was last year. I feel like he's kind of gotten found out a little bit more this year, and he's had a few games where he's like been left 1-on-1 and he's okay. He's just such 1B vibes to me. I can't even get over it.
Yeah, that's
like he's just such a limited player, and I don't see how he or what he could become. Like I'm just like this is the best case, and it's like the more, and I'm just like he's not good enough. You know, he's just not good enough for.
It is weird how the pure defensive fullback just isn't a role anymore. It's just not a role in the sport. No team wants that.
Has passed it by.
Yeah, no team wants to just carry basically a center back at fullback. It's just not good enough. You get pinned back too much. You need them to, progress the ball either with their feet or receive the passes up the pitch or be able to pass.
For triangles and not. And he just does none of that. Like that's all a very big problem for him.
It's always shocking when he's in the final third. It's always like, oh, Mitchell, not a bad cross. Yeah.
We're bad. I think we're bad though. I mean, I think
I agree.
Can be classified as bad right now. And a team that can concede goals any game.
Yeah. I agree. Palm said, how would you rate Newcastle's defense from what you've seen? Is it sustainably one of the best in the league or ripe for some coming back down to earth? Looks like one of the best in the league to me, Yeah,
I mean, I guess it depends how you define coming back. I mean, they're going to come back down to earth because they're not going to keep fucking
40 cleans.
25 cleans this season. But they definitely look like a top 2 defense with City to me. Top 3 with Arsenal. I mean,
their underlyings are not as good as they've been performing, but they're very good, So they're, even a little bit back down to earth is not, it's not that big of a change.
It's not
they just go back to, exactly. So they're
they look
very
great.
Good. Ethical said, I've started with Haaland, Cancelo. I'm ready to add a third City player soon. Is Ederson, Cancelo, Haaland viable, or am I going to keep losing out by not having the midfielder? Is rotating Mo to Kev for the double the smart move?
I'm having a hard time with the phrasing of this question. He said he has two
He has
City players.
Holland,
But they said
Cancelo, and he wants a
So he has
third, I
one.
guess.
What
What
he
do you
has
mean?
one. Cancelo doesn't play.
I didn't get that joke. Nice.
So
Cancelo, not a pick.
yeah,
I don't know.
get
Ederson,
two more, and
Ederson is very, very unfun to own. But he will get points.
Ederson
But he's one of
is
the
just
least
he's
fun.
a Panchop Ortega.
Yeah,
That's
he's straight up maybe least fun player I've ever owned in FPL because he just makes 0 saves. You don't even remember that you fucking have him. And then they just like either concede some stupid goal in the 80th minute or they don't. And he gets 6 points or 2. And that's all he is ever.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's annoying and dumb, but yeah, he's going to get points. And, you know, I like the double-double, so that's kind of why I have him. But Moda Kev for the double, I mean, we'll talk about it then, I think. We don't need to really talk about it now. Let's get some more games there.
Kev was terrific today.
Yeah. Yeah, again, another guy where I'm like, how did he get no fucking points from me today? I don't even know.
He's so good. That
And
kid
then
was good, Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny their backup
really-
fullbacks are like these like no-name youngsters that they play well. Yeah.
He carried the ball well. He didn't give it away cheaply. He made up numbers. He seemed like his movement was pretty good. There were some
got a
times
clean sheet too.
Yeah, there were some times I thought he just like completely lost it or fucked it, but the ball was stuck to his foot. Yeah, seems like he's got something about him. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mahrez,
LOL
what's up with
at
him,
us
dude?
who thought that Cancelo and Walker were their only 2 fullbacks and neither start.
I know, right?
And then Raymond, last question. He said, is this the hardest season in memory, COVID fuckery aside, with there being so many known good picks and being so easy to afford a team full of good, obvious guys? Particularly the Arsenal pricing appears to have broken the game this season. How did Towers get it so wrong?
What?
Is it the hardest season in memory?
Isn't it like the easiest?
I think every season is easier than the last season.
Okay.
If
How come?
your only intention is like getting a high rank, there's
infinity.
there's infinity resources to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna copy blah blah blah's team. For like this game week, the elite teams, those fucking old school, they all have the exact same team. Everyone on their team is
there's
like
2 differences.
Yeah, it's like 80% owned for 10 out of the 11 picks or something like that. You know,
right.
It's pretty easy to just start template and then just, you know, move with, you know, where everyone's going. Like you just need to be able to tell which way the wind's blowing and it's easy. But the problem that we, meaning me and you, wrestle with, and I think a lot of our listeners wrestle with, and maybe that's why they like us, is that it's really fucking boring and stupid to play a game where you just copy someone else's answers. So
yeah,
in that sense, it's harder because we're playing against a larger group of people doing the smart, obvious things than there used to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You brought it home towards the end.
Thank you.
Yes. No, that does make sense. And you said, you know, if we were just wanted to get a good rank, you know, picking those teams, you're good. And
It's
they're
very straightforward. Yeah.
Just copy them.
Yeah, it really just depends what like your goals are, you know?
Yeah.
And that changes how difficult or easy the season is. All right, man. What do we do? Oh, our teams? I don't know. Do you know what you're going to do? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to
save, I think.
do. Yeah.
I mean, my team looks great, is great. Save.
I guess, okay. I guess I'll save. Or maybe Tross to Miggy. But also I'm considering just benching Tross for Pereira this week. It was home Southampton. So.
Yeah, I have Pereira on my bench right now. I don't love that.
I'm not thrilled at the idea of like using a transfer to start Miggy over Pereira home Southampton, which is just an incredible fixture. I mean, it sucks that Perv, who's my, you know, 4th defender, has Arsenal and no Caicedo and no Mac Allister. So that's a really bad start, but I just don't care that much.
It's not important.
It's just not like the way I think about it is like the best defense in the league cleans roughly 50% of the games. The good defenses in the league clean roughly a third of the games. The mid-table teams clean a quarter of the game. Like, these players usually fucking blank anyway. Most players, especially defenders. So, like, Perv gets me a 1-pointer. It's just not that big a deal. I don't think it's worth a transfer, even though I have Reese. So, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that seems like it makes some sense.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, obviously Holland cap is not a thing that we need to talk about. Hopefully they're not playing first this week. Okay, City are not playing first, so we don't have to worry about a leak. Good. Better for everyone. We got asses to slap, dude.
Oh my god.
We got signups. We got new Patreon signups.
This isn't going to be our last season.
Not our last season. We're saved from bankruptcy. We're back. We got Victor Wallstrom, Danzel KS, Darren, Brian Gortz, Eric Fordham, and Nicholas M. Get in there, baby. Slap that ass. Thank you for signing up. And yeah, bro. Let the pile up continue. Any last words?
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, bro. Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL Sports Media.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review.